I'm getting ready to take my baby, the Mercedes, to the shop. Yeah, 2 weeks ago, I had it painted, dents removed, added some chrome, looked beautiful because after owning it, for 6 months, I had no mechanical issues of any kind. So I decided to go ahead and give it a little beautification. Well, I was totally pleased with it. I'm still totally pleased with it. They did a great job. And then a week later, I took it to the Mercedes German specialist shop to go ahead and give it an oil change, air filter, replace, whatever needs to be replaced, belts, whatever, the A service it's called. And it was okay. And then the cluster, the light on the dashboard there, you can't really see it that well unless you turn it on at nighttime. And it was saying ABS, BAS, EUC, what, basically the alignment or something. I don't know. I just know that it's saying that I got to take it back to the workshop. So I called the place that did it, and they're going to hook it up to a code and see what's happening. But I'm afraid to drive it there because I noticed that when I went to accelerate, it doesn't really want to accelerate. So I don't know. I may not be able to drive it there. I may have to tow it there. I'm going to find out here in a few minutes. I'm going to get in the car, drive it around the block. If it makes it around the block, I'll go ahead and drive it over to the place and see what's happening. Ironically, before I took the car in to get that oil service change, whatever, the A service, I was saying, there's a saying, and I think applies here. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it may have nothing to do with the fact that I had it serviced. It may be all by itself having an issue. But, the timing of this is just crazy. And, I spent $600 for that oil change, that A service, the filter change bill. And then they checked and did made sure there was no other issues, checked for any other issues. So, yeah. But I'm thinking, I went on YouTube like everybody else to see if there's a way I can self-diagnose. And, so I'm going to ask about the yaw sensor, the brake light switch, because supposedly in this particular car, that's usually what it is, the brake light switch. Steering wheel sensor, it's supposed to be straight ahead, dead ahead. The alignment maybe, low battery voltage, fuses. You could take apart the whole car. But you don't want to do that. No. So he's going to hook it up. He thinks actually that maybe a rat got in there and chewed up the wiring underneath. So I guess that's possible. I just know I'm going to let him tell me what it is. And hopefully it's nothing that's going to cost me a lot of money. See, it says ABS, BAS, ESP, whatever. I'm not seeing any major triangles up here, but I'm going to go ahead and see if I can drive it to the end of the block. If I can drive it to the end of the block, I can drive it, I think, to the place that can put that scanner on it and tell me what's happening. Yeah, no, this ain't working. I'm going to have to tow it in. No doubt about it. I'm going to have to tow it in. It just doesn't want to accelerate, Yep, definitely got to call AAA and have it towed in. It's going to take about half an hour, 45 minutes before AAA will get here. So I'm just going to walk back to my house. I'm not going to drive the car back. And just leave it parked here and keep an eye on it from the house. But, yeah, definitely got to tow it in. Well, the car starts up, so I don't think it's a battery problem. And it says reset with reset button. It's not really showing me anything. I'm not seeing the ARS now showing up. Look at that. It's not even there. It doesn't say ABS now. I put my foot on the brake. It's not saying ABS. But it does when I push on the brake. Feels like it's kind of going past the brake, like it's sinking. Yeah, the ABS light is now off. Nothing's blinking there, letting me know that, there's an issue with it. And the car is running. It's been running now for 5 minutes. I just called the German specialist and let him know that I was going to be having it towed in. At least they're not going to charge me to hook it up and find out what's happening. But I don't know what's happening. This is weird. I just know that I couldn't get it to accelerate. I don't know, maybe it'll accelerate now, but it wasn't accelerating before I put my foot on that brake. So, and it's 100 degrees out right now, so I guess I could put on my air conditioner now. But now I'm only a few houses away from here, so I think maybe I'll just take a little walk or stand. All right, there's the AAA. He's here. Good thing I have more than one car right now. Apparently AAA is not allowed to let me ride with them. Yeah, see, there it is on the truck, so. Okay, I hate seeing her on that truck. Alright, there she is. Well, I can see underneath it now. Fault codes electronic 20306. Okay, he's driving it. Let's see if he can get to go faster than 5 miles an hour. At this point, he's saying he can't find anything that's wrong. Okay, he just got back with the car, clearly able to drive it very well, no problems. He said he hit 60. I'm like, yeah, okay, good. That's good. So I'm going to go ahead and take it for a little drive and see if I encounter it. Okay, turn on no lights. It just says reset with reset button. Okay, I'm going to take it for a ride and see what happens here. Okay, I just drove it, no issues. I asked him what happens if, it happens later, like after I get home. And he said, well, that would show that it's an intermittent problem, and he would definitely hook it back up. And at that point, it would show what the stored codes are again. And then perhaps, could deduct where exactly the problem is originating from. But it's boiling down to the steering wheel sensor or the actual, module. So we'll see what happens. All right, so far it seems to be driving okay. Yeah, I'm not seeing any ABS BAS ESP messaging or anything like that, just the brake light. I don't know. Like I said, it was scary driving it home because I keep feeling like it's going to go back. And we already discussed it. It's probably in the steering column. I might be correct there, but before that can be determined, it has to come back, the fault issue. And so he cleared all the faults, and that means anything that pops back up, the process of elimination, then we'll know what it is. But hopefully, yeah, it's just something that can be discovered easily, and hopefully nothing that's going to leave me stranded on a highway. Okay, so yeah, I'm back home, and it was definitely scary driving the car back because, I kept waiting for the light to come back on and maybe the car to stall again, because that's exactly what I got to look for. I got to wait for, because it is intermittent, and yeah, he cleared all the codes, but that means it's got to come back in order to really decipher what exactly is the issue. I still think it's probably in the steering wheel because of the dead ahead, straight ahead theory that the star has to be like that. And if it's just even leaning that way on the steering wheel, that means that it's confusing the braking system. So alignment, basically. So, but I don't know. I'm not a mechanic. I did take auto mechanics in high school, but that was not on a Mercedes, okay? But anyway, yeah, I'm afraid to drive the car now because I do not want it to pop up and reduce it to 5 miles an hour in the middle of the street. So I gotta take baby steps again and just drive it around the block every so often. Good thing I have another car, but yeah. I'm hoping that when he cleared those fault codes, maybe, just maybe, he cleared whatever the issue was. We did the steering wheel to the left, to the right, to the left, center, that trick. So maybe that'll help. I don't know. I just know that he's aware that if the car shows that BAS thing, ESP, yeah, ABS, whatever it is, all those codes, that it will be towed into his shop and he'll know exactly what to do to hook up that thing again and figure out what's wrong and then call me and tell me how much I got to spend when it happens. But maybe I'll look out. I don't know. I just know I really have enjoyed my car. I spent money making it look pretty, and I spent money doing the preventative stuff, you know, the service A, the oil change, air filter change, belts, you know, spark plugs, everything. So the last thing I want to do is have to sink in a whole bunch more money to keep it running. But, you know, if it comes down to that, I guess I will. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed it's going to be a simple fix on the code situation, just because it seems pretty obvious that it's in the steering wheel, the alignment, something to that effect. But like I said, I'm not an expert on Mercedes. I've only owned it now for 6 months. But I like it, so I kind of want to keep it. Hey, it's now been 3 days since the Mercedes was towed into the shop, and, you know, he put the car on that code thing and read all the codes, swiped the codes, and I was able to drive it home. And, you know, was aware of the fact that it was going to be intermittent issue. Well, apparently it's not intermittent because, you know, I did my own testing. I put it in the driveway, and I'm not going to drive it around anywhere other than around the block. So I drove it around the block, and as soon as I turned the car off, it said 1 malfunction. So now 1 malfunction means it's still there. So I waited another day, drove it around the block, turned it off, 1 malfunction. So yeah, I'm going to, I think, go ahead and bring it back into the shop, have them put them up on that star thing again, and then see if they can determine what that 1 malfunction is that's causing the chain reaction. And maybe I can just buy whatever part I need. But in the meantime, you know, I didn't make that car look all pretty and spend all that money in preventative maintenance to just see it sitting in the driveway. I want to be able to drive this car. So yeah, I'm going to have them put it back on that computer and see if it can tell me what that 1 malfunction is. Okay, I just talked to the German specialist, and, you know, they're pretty busy over there today, so I'm going to go ahead and wait until Monday. And in the meantime, I'm going to still each night drive it around the block and just make a notation if it says 1 malfunction or 2 malfunctions, yeah, if it increases. And then he'll put it on the star and the computer and find out what it's stored, what it is that the malfunction is. So hopefully it's something that, yeah, we can fix soon, because I want to be able to drive this car around. I really do. It's pretty, you know, and I did. I spent all that money getting it all tuned up and ready to go, so the engine's fine. Yeah, see? Okay, I just took it for a ride around the block, and up pops the 1 malfunction. And before I took it for the ride around the block, I put the key in the ignition, did whatever, you know, sat here for a minute and then turned it off, and there was no malfunction. So it's definitely an ongoing situation, issue, a malfunction. And I want to find out what it is. So I'm definitely taking it in to the German specialist on Monday, but I'm just going to keep tabs of how many times it says 1 malfunction at the end. I'm hoping it's the same malfunction, and it's just going to be one thing I got to replace on this car. But the one thing I keep noticing, you see this star right here? Now I'm parked straight, but the star is off to the left. So I'm almost, you know, positive. I mean, like I said, I'm not, you know, I guess an expertise in any type of repair on Mercedes, but I got to learn what makes the car run, right? But yeah, the start. It's off to the left, even though the wheels are straight. So I'm thinking it's in here that it's off. The alignment of the steering, the sensor's off, because this should be straight up. Dead ahead, straight ahead. That's how it should be. Oh, look, and now the light's out. But yeah, that's off to the left. That shouldn't be off to the left. That should be straight up. Yeah, that's how the steering wheel should look. It shouldn't be off to the left like that. One thing is certain, until I get this issue figured out, whatever this malfunction is, this car is not safe to drive. I mean, you know, even though I just spent all this money getting the tune up, the A service and all that, and the engine's great and everything's great, this car will shut itself off due to malfunctions, and that's not great. You know, computers, yeah, they're great. Modern technology, great when they work. But when there's something wrong with them, you know, planes can fall out of the sky when their computer quits working, okay? Cars crash, because it's just like the motherboard on your computer at home. When that thing crashes, the monitor don't work, the mouse don't work, nothing works. Same thing with cars and planes. Once that motherboard goes out, you can't even put on a hazard light. You have no control, nothing. You can't brake, you can't steer, you can't do nothing. So yeah, I gotta get this issue fixed no matter what. Okay, I decided to try and teach myself a little bit about my car, because I do believe that if you own a car, you should know a little bit about it. And so I downloaded the W203 book, owner's manual. You know, you can find it online for free, so why not, right? And there, lo and behold, is something I'm trying to find out. It says right here, if you get a thing that tells you how many malfunctions, 3 or 4 of them, after you turn off the car, push the arrows on your steering wheel. And it'll tell you what the malfunctions are, and then it will store it on the onboard computer. And then when you go see the person who fixes your car, you know, they too will know what happened. So I think I'm going to be spending more time with this thing right here. Yeah, the owner's manual. You can learn a lot simply by reading. So I'm going to start doing some reading.